When a Walgreens leaves a neighborhood, they disrupt the entire community, and they take with them baby formula, diapers, asthma inhalers, life-saving medications, and of course, jobs. These closures are not arbitrary, and they are not innocent. They are life-threatening acts of racial and economic discrimination.
That's Congresswoman Ayana Pressley of Massachusetts lamenting the closing of a Walgreens in her district. It has nothing to do with race. Walgreens is a company. They just want to make money. But endless shoplifting makes making money for Walgreens hard, so they close the store. Newsweek opinion Batya Ungar-Sargon is with us now. It is good to see you. You think that the policies of defund the police and on be different if those making them the elite had to live in the neighborhoods that were actually affected by them?
You know, the irony here is that she's accusing Walgreens of racism. Why is it not racist to implement policies in which 70% of the victims of murder are black people, and you just let murderers walk around free? You have a totally open door, no bail policy. The vast majority of the victims of violent crime are black. She's the racist. The people who do that are the racists. Why don't they look in the mirror for a change?
I get that, and oftentimes what people are accusing you of is what they're doing themselves. But there seems to be this trend, right? And let's just give everybody the benefit of the doubt that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But I think about all the push for minimum wage hikes, and then all of a sudden you have $20 cheeseburgers that nobody can afford to buy at McDonald's anymore. And what happens? But you get a bunch of robot now fast food workers rather than entry-level jobs. You think about there was a delivery fee put on Uber Eats and DoorDash and the like in Seattle. And $5 because it was going to be a living wage for drivers. And now drivers can't make their rent because there's no more orders. How is this? Where's sort of the limousine liberal part of this?
I got to say, I think actually the progressives might be right about that. 53% of inflation, we know, is corporate profits. They love to blame this on labor and blame this on, paying people more money. But I think those are outlier examples. We know that the labor market has stabilized. We know that companies are only paying 1% more for products and for labor at this point. But the consumer price index is 3.4% higher. Americans are paying 25% more for groceries. Where is that money going if the cost is only 1% more? It's going to corporate profits. And if I sound like a progressive to somebody, shame on you. This should be the #1 issue for Republicans because your base is the working class, and they're the ones who are getting crushed at the grocery store.
Okay, there's a difference, though, between allowing the marketplace to actually dictate these things and then trying to regulate it. I'm trying to figure out what regulations that progressives have brought in that have actually helped the working class rather than just making the progressives feel good at their cocktail parties.
No, obviously, I'm totally in agreement with you about that. I haven't seen any even proposals about how to deal with this. The problem is we do not have a free market. 80% of meat processing is done by 4 mega companies. They have a total monopoly on the price of meat in America. And meat is something you can't live without. People can't just choose not to eat it. They can't just shop somewhere else. It's total crony capitalism, and it's hurting the little guy. And nobody has any answers about how to solve it.
Okay. Fair enough that nobody has any answers. So 30 seconds as you talk to voters across the country on this, why do Republicans seem to now get the votes of the working class?
Well, I think that it's not Republicans who are getting working class votes. It's Donald Trump. And Donald Trump actually talks about this kind of thing. He had a great idea, 10% tax on every foreign import into this country. Working class people, they love the sound of that because that is an America first policy. Why don't we prioritize our markets and not China?
All right, fair enough. Batya, it's always fun to chat. We appreciate it. Thank you. Even though you have to go back and be with the progressives, you're always willing to call balls and strikes on them. Safe travels back to Brooklyn, my friend. We'll talk soon. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.